It was a cool autumn evening when Clara first noticed the peculiar pattern in her dreams. She had always been a vivid dreamer, her nights filled with swirling colors, distant voices, and fleeting images that vanished the moment she opened her eyes. But lately, her dreams had taken on a strange consistency. Every night, she found herself in the same a sprawling meadow under a sky filled with stars. And every night, she saw him. His name was Elias, though she didn't know how she knew that. He was tall, with dark wavy hair that fell just above his shoulders, and eyes that seemed to hold the entire universe within them. He wore simple clothes, a white shirt and trousers, and he always stood at the edge of the meadow, gazing at her with a mixture of longing and sadness. Clara would try to speak to him, to ask him who he was and why he was in her dreams, but every time she approached he would fade away like mist in the morning sun. At first, Clara dismissed the dreams as a product of her overactive imagination. She was a writer after all, and her mind was always spinning stories. But as the nights passed, the dreams grew more vivid, more real. She could feel the cool grass beneath her feet, smell the faint scent of lavender in the air, and hear the soft rustle of the wind through the trees. Elias's essence felt near, as if reaching out. One night, Clara decided to take control of the dream. She stood at the edge of the meadow, her heart pounding, and called out to him, "Elias, wait!" To her surprise, he didn't fade away. Instead, he turned to her, his eyes filled with a quiet intensity. "Clara," he said, his voice soft but clear. "You're here." "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Why do I keep dreaming about you?" Elias hesitated, as if choosing his words carefully. "I've been waiting for you," he said finally, "for a long time." "Waiting for me? But I don't even know you." "You do," he said, stepping closer. "You just don't remember." Clara woke up with a start, her heart racing. The dream had felt so real, so vivid, that she half expected to find Elias standing in her room. But she was alone, the early morning light filtering through her curtains. She sat up, her mind racing. Who was Elias? And why did he feel so familiar? Over the next few days, Clara became obsessed with the dreams. She started keeping a journal by her bed, writing down every detail she could remember. She researched lucid dreaming, meditation, anything that might help her stay in the dream longer, to talk to Elias again. And then, one night, she succeeded. She found herself in the meadow once more, the stars twinkling overhead like 1,000 tiny lanterns. Elias was there, waiting for her. This time she didn't hesitate. She ran to him, her heart pounding in her chest. "Tell me who you are," she demanded. "Tell me why I keep dreaming about you." Elias looked at her, his eyes filled with a deep, aching sadness. "Clara," he said softly, "this isn't a dream, not really. It's a memory." "A memory?" she echoed, confused. "But I've never been here before. I've never met you." "You have," he said, reaching out to touch her hand. His fingers were warm, solid, real. "In another life." Clara's breath caught in her throat. "What are you talking about?" Elias took a deep breath, as if steeling himself for what he was about to say. "A long time ago we were together. We were happy. But something happened. Something tore us apart. I've been searching for you ever since, trying to find a way back to you. And now, finally, I have." Clara stared at him, her mind reeling. It sounded impossible, like something out of one of her novels. And yet, deep down, she felt a strange sense of recognition, as if some part of her already knew what he was saying was true. "How?" she whispered. "How is this possible?" "The stars," Elias said, looking up at the sky. "They're a bridge, a connection between worlds, between lives. Every night, I've been waiting here, hoping you'd find your way back to me." Clara followed his gaze, the stars shimmering like diamonds against the velvet sky. "But why don't I remember?" "Because the memories are buried," Elias said. "But they're still there, deep inside you, and if you let yourself, you can find them." Clara closed her eyes, trying to quiet her mind. She focused on the sound of the wind, the scent of the grass, the warmth of Elias's hand in hers. And then, slowly, images began to surface, fragments of a life she had long forgotten. She saw herself laughing, running through the meadow with Elias by her side. She saw them sitting by a fire, sharing stories under the stars. She saw a love so deep, so pure, that it transcended time itself. Tears streamed down her face as the memories flooded back. "I remember," she whispered. "I remember everything." Elias pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly. "I've missed you," he said, his voice choked with emotion. "Every moment without you has been agony." Clara clung to him, her heart overflowing with a love she hadn't known she was capable of. "I've missed you too," she said. "But what happens now? Is this real? Or is it just a dream?" Elias cupped her face in his hands, his eyes searching hers. "It's as real as you want it to be," he said. "The stars have brought us together again. But it's up to us to decide what happens next." Clara looked into his eyes, seeing the love and hope reflected there. And in that moment, she knew what she wanted. "I choose you," she said, "in this life and in every life after." Elias smiled, a radiant, joyful smile that lit up the entire meadow. "Then we'll never be apart again," he said, "no matter where the stars take us." And as they stood there, wrapped in each other's arms under the canopy of 1,000 stars, Clara knew that she had found something truly extraordinary, a love that had defied time, space, and even death itself. It was a love that had begun in a dream, but had become the most real thing she had ever known. And as the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon, Clara woke up, her heart still racing from the dream. But this time, she didn't feel the usual sense of loss. Instead, she felt a deep, abiding peace. Because she knew that Elias was out there, somewhere, waiting for her. And no matter how many lifetimes it took, she would find him again.